Atlanta has seen its share of scandals, but nothing could have prepared fans for this. Cameras were rolling when K. Michelle, never one to hold her tongue, stormed into a private event and caught Kirk Frost red-handed. The moment was explosive. Rashida, who had stood by Kirk through years of rumors and betrayals, was left trembling and in tears as the truth unfolded before everyone's eyes. The air was thick with shock, the room frozen, as voices began to rise and emotions spiraled out of control. Eyewitnesses say K. Michelle's face was a mix of fury and vindication. She had warned people for months that Kirk was hiding something, and now she had the proof in her hands. Fans who saw clips on social media said the energy in that room was electric, like a bomb going off in the middle of Atlanta's tight-knit music circle. Whispers quickly turned into shouts, with Rashida breaking down as Kirk desperately tried to defend himself. The scene was beyond dramatic. K. Michelle's voice cut through the chaos as she shouted, "You thought you could keep this a secret? Not today, Kirk." The room erupted. Some rushed to comfort Rashida, who covered her face, sobbing uncontrollably, while others stood in stunned silence, phones in hand, already spreading the drama across the internet. Within minutes, hashtags began trending. Fans were floored. Messages like "Rashida deserves better," "Kirk is finished," and "K. Michelle always brings the receipts" flooded timelines. The tension was unbearable. This wasn't just another rumor. This was a confrontation that shook the foundation of Kirk and Rashida's marriage. Everyone wanted answers. What did K. Michelle know? What had Kirk been hiding? And how could Rashida possibly recover from yet another betrayal played out so publicly? This was the moment Atlanta stopped in its tracks. And tonight, we're diving into every detail, because the truth behind this shocking revelation is even more dramatic than anyone could have imagined. Under the flashing lights of Atlanta's nightlife, the drama was already bubbling before anyone knew it. K. Michelle had been whispering to close friends for weeks that Kirk Frost was up to something, but no one expected her to take matters into her own hands in such a bold and unforgettable way. That night, at a private industry gathering filled with music executives, local celebrities, and influencers, everything shifted. Kirk thought he could move in the shadows, that his secrets were safe. But when K. Michelle stormed in with her phone clutched tightly in her hand, the entire room went silent, as though the walls themselves were waiting for the explosion. Rashida had arrived earlier, looking flawless in a sleek black dress, smiling for pictures, unaware of the storm heading straight for her. Kirk, on the other hand, looked nervous even before K. Michelle appeared. His phone kept buzzing, his eyes darted across the room, and he avoided standing too close to his wife. Fans who later saw leaked clips would say his body language told the story before any words were spoken. K. Michelle didn't waste time. She walked straight into the crowd, her voice loud, sharp, slicing through the music. "I told y'all he couldn't be trusted, and tonight I'm about to prove it," she shouted. The crowd turned, phones raised in unison, recording every second. Kirk's face dropped instantly, his eyes wide, his lips tightening as though he already knew what was coming. Rashida blinked, confused, her hand on Kirk's arm. "What is she talking about?" she whispered, but Kirk didn't answer. He was frozen, stuck between denial and the truth. K. Michelle was about to throw like a grenade. The moment felt endless. K. Michelle scrolled her phone, pulled up a series of screenshots, and held them high so everyone around could see. "You want to act like a family man? You want to stand next to Rashida, smiling for the cameras? Well, explain this, Kirk." Her voice cracked like thunder. The room gasped as images flashed on the giant phone screen: messages, hotel bookings, and a grainy photo of Kirk outside a luxury condo with someone who wasn't Rashida. The crowd roared. People screamed. Some shouted "no way," while others covered their mouths in disbelief. The betrayal unfolded like a live performance, raw and merciless. Rashida stumbled back, her face pale, tears welling up instantly. "Please tell me this isn't true," she begged, her voice breaking. She grabbed Kirk's hand, shaking it, trying to pull answers out of him, but he just stammered, "It's not what it looks like. I can explain." K. Michelle cut him off, her tone sharp and vicious. "Don't lie to her again. I've been watching you, Kirk. You thought you could hide in the dark, but the receipts don't lie. You've been caught red-handed." The phrase echoed, bouncing off the walls, burning into every ear in the room. Fans later said they had chills when they heard it. Rashida broke down completely, covering her face, crying into her hands. Her makeup streaked, her shoulders shaking, and yet, cameras stayed on her. Nobody looked away. It was the kind of pain you couldn't fake, the kind of heartbreak everyone had feared but hoped she'd never face again. In the middle of the chaos, Kirk tried to grab the phone from K. Michelle, but she pulled back, laughing bitterly. You're desperate now, huh? Trying to shut me up. Too late. Atlanta knows, the world knows, and Rashida knows. You can't hide anymore. Security tried to intervene, pulling the two apart, but the damage was already done. Clips went viral before the night even ended, fans flooding Twitter and Instagram with reactions. Rashida deserves the world, not this pain, one fan wrote. Another said, K. Michelle is messy, but she just did what everyone else was too scared to do, expose Kirk. Rashida, still sobbing, whispered under her breath, why, Kirk? After everything? After all the times I forgave you, why again? Her voice cracked into the microphone nearby, amplifying her heartbreak for the entire room to hear. The atmosphere was unbearable. Friends of the couple rushed to her side, trying to comfort her, while Kirk stood alone. Looking trapped, cornered by his own actions. Whispers swirled around the room. Is this the end for them? How could Kirk do this again? K. Michelle just destroyed his life in one night. But K. Michelle wasn't finished. She raised her phone again, scrolling to another set of evidence. This isn't just one night, Rashida. He's been doing this for months, sneaking around, playing you for a fool. I told you not to trust him, and now you see it for yourself. Rashida shook her head violently, crying harder. Stop. Please stop, she begged. But the truth was out, and everyone knew it. The betrayal wasn't a rumor anymore. It was fact, plastered across every phone screen in the room. A loud argument broke out as Kirk finally snapped, shouting back at K. Michelle, you don't know what you're talking about. You're just trying to ruin me because you don't like me. His voice cracked with panic. But the crowd didn't buy it. Too many eyes had already seen the proof. No, Kirk, K. Michelle shot back, her finger pointed at him. This ain't about me not liking you. This is about Rashida getting the respect she deserves. You've embarrassed her for the last time. Rashida collapsed into a chair, covering her face, sobbing uncontrollably. Fans described the sight as heartbreaking. The strong, resilient woman who had fought for her marriage countless times now looked shattered, broken in front of everyone. The night dragged on, emotions raw, voices raised, and the drama uncontainable. As the crowd dispersed, people carried the story into the streets, retelling every detail, spreading the scandal faster than wildfire. Atlanta wasn't just buzzing, it was erupting. By the time the sun rose, clips from the confrontation had millions of views. Hashtags like hashtag Kirk exposed, hashtag Rasheeda deserves better, and hashtag K. Michelle tells all were trending worldwide. Fans were shocked, emotions ran high, and the Frost family was left divided in ways no one could ignore. But deep inside, the most haunting image remained. Rashida sitting alone, tears streaming down her face, while Kirk stood silent, caught between guilt and shame, unable to undo the damage that had just destroyed his image and shattered his wife's trust once again. And that was only the beginning, because what K. Michelle revealed that night was only the first layer of the scandal. More secrets were waiting to explode, and the fallout was about to drag everyone in the Frost circle into chaos like never before. Under the hot Atlanta night, when the music scene was alive with flashing lights and people dressed to the nines, no one knew they were walking into a night that would change everything for Kirk, Frost, Rashida, and everyone around them. It was supposed to be a glamorous event, full of smiles, networking, and laughter. But what happened that night was nothing short of explosive. K. Michelle had promised that if Kirk didn't stop his games, she would be the one to end them. And true to her word, she walked into that party with fire in her eyes and a phone full of evidence that would rip the Frost family apart. The energy shifted as soon as she entered. Conversations died down, music seemed to fade into the background, and people turned to see why the room suddenly felt colder. Kirk, standing near the bar with a glass in his hand, stiffened instantly. He had that look, eyes darting, lips pressed tight, hands clenched like a man who already knew he was cornered. Rashida, glowing as always, had no idea that her entire world was about to unravel in front of hundreds of witnesses. K. Michelle's heels clicked against the floor as she marched toward them, her phone lit up like a torch in her hand. I told you, Kirk, I told you I wasn't gonna let you play her like this again, she shouted, her voice commanding the entire space. The room froze, everyone's eyes on her. Phones shot up instantly, recording every second. The cameras weren't just watching, they were waiting for blood. Rashida looked from K. Michelle to Kirk, her brows furrowed. What's going on? What is she talking about? Her voice was calm at first, but her hand gripped Kirk's arm tightly, a signal that her instincts were already warning her. Kirk opened his mouth, fumbling, but no words came out. That silence was louder than any confession. K. Michelle raised her phone higher, flipping through a gallery of images and messages, each one worse than the last. "You see this?" she shouted. "Hotel reservations in your name. Text messages at 3 a.m. Pictures of you creeping into a condo that ain't your family home. Explain that, Kirk." Gasps filled the room. People covered their mouths, shaking their heads, whispering to each other, "He's caught. Not again." Poor Rashida. Rashida's face went pale as her eyes locked on the photos. She shook her head, stepping back, her voice trembling. "No, no. Tell me this isn't real, Kirk. Please tell me this isn't happening again." Tears welled up, threatening to spill, but she fought them, clinging to a hope that maybe there was some other explanation. Kirk panicked, reaching for her hands. "Baby, listen, it's not what it looks like. I swear to you, it's business. It's not, but Kay." Michelle cut him off sharply. "Business? You call sneaking around in the middle of the night business? You call whispering to another woman business? Stop lying to her. Stop lying to everybody. You've been caught red-handed." The words cracked like a whip, echoing across the hall. Fans online would later repeat that line endlessly, saying it was the moment Kirk's mask shattered completely. Rashida couldn't hold it together any longer. She broke, sobbing into her hands, her whole body trembling. "Why, Kirk? After everything I've given you, after every chance, why again?" she cried, her voice breaking into pieces. The crowd erupted in chaos, some people shouting, others rushing to console her. Security tried to calm the scene, but it was too late. Atlanta had already witnessed the betrayal firsthand, and the world was about to know too. As Kirk tried to grab Michelle's phone, she yanked it away, laughing bitterly. "You can't run from this. You can't erase the truth. The whole city's gonna see what you've done," he snapped, shouting back at her, his voice filled with rage and desperation. "You just hate me, Michelle. You always been against me. This is your way of getting back at me." But the people in the room weren't buying it. Too many eyes had already seen the evidence. Too many people had already whispered, "It's true." Rashida sat down heavily in a chair, her face buried in her hands, her sobs shaking her entire body. People described it as the most heartbreaking sight they had ever seen. The strong woman who had stood tall through so many storms was now broken in front of everyone. But Michelle wasn't finished. She scrolled again, this time pulling up bank transactions. Transfers that hinted Kirk had been spending money behind Rashida's back. "Look at this," she declared. "Money moving from his account to cover rent and gifts that ain't got nothing to do with his wife. This man been living a double life and smiling in your face the whole time." Rashida gasped, tears streaming freely now. "No, God, no," she whispered. The crowd gasped louder. It wasn't just cheating, it was betrayal on every level. Money, lies, secrets. The Frost Empire was crumbling right before their eyes. Kirk's voice shook as he tried to plead. "Rashida, baby, you know I love you. You know you're my world. Don't let her twist this. Don't let her tear us apart." But Rashida's eyes, wet with tears, turned cold. "You already tore us apart, Kirk. You did this, not her." Fans online exploded. Within minutes, hashtags like #KirkExposed and #Rasheeda deserves better started trending. Clips of the confrontation spread like wildfire. People reposted, commented, and debated. Michelle did what had to be done, one fan tweeted. Another wrote, "My heart breaks for Rashida. She doesn't deserve this humiliation." As the night dragged on, Kirk tried to escape, pulling Rashida aside, begging her to come with him. But she shook her head, refusing to move. "I'm not leaving with you. Not tonight. Not after this." The cameras followed every move. The paparazzi outside captured her leaving the building alone, tears still on her cheeks, while Kirk stayed behind, cornered by his own lies. By morning, every blog, every gossip site, every talk show was buzzing. "Kirk Frost exposed." Headlines screamed. Interviews popped up with people who claimed they had seen Kirk with other women, piling more fuel on the fire. Rashida stayed quiet, not posting, not speaking. Fans begged her to leave him, to walk away for good. "Queen, protect your peace," one wrote. "Don't let this man keep breaking you." Michelle, on the other hand, posted a cryptic message on Instagram. "Sometimes the truth hurts, but it's better than living in lies." The comments section exploded with thousands of likes, shares, and debates. Some called her messy, others called her a hero. And still, Kirk tried to fight back, calling it a setup, insisting Michelle was lying. But the receipts told a different story. Every leaked message, every bank record, every late-night photo painted a picture of betrayal that was impossible to ignore. Rashida, trapped in the middle of love, loyalty, and heartbreak, was left with a choice that would define her future. Would she forgive him again, or finally walk away from the man who had broken her heart too many times. The world watched, waited, and speculated, their emotions running high, their opinions loud, their hearts heavy for a woman caught in the storm of betrayal. Atlanta wasn't just whispering anymore, it was screaming. Kirk Frost was exposed, Rashida was shattered, and Michelle had pulled the trigger that set it all in motion. And even as the dust settled from that night, rumors swirled that the scandal was far from over. More secrets lingered in the shadows, waiting to come to light, threatening to drag everyone deeper into a drama that no one could escape. The Frost family's story had only just begun its darkest chapter, and the fallout was going to shake not only Atlanta but the entire world of hip-hop to its core. The next morning, Atlanta woke up buzzing like a hive. The scandal was everywhere: radio stations, blogs, podcasts, and Twitter threads dissecting every second of what had gone down between Michelle, Kirk, and Rashida. Clips from the confrontation were played on repeat, slowed down, zoomed in, every detail analyzed like evidence in a courtroom. People were pausing to study Rashida's tears, Kirk's guilty expression, and Michelle's fiery stance. It wasn't just drama anymore, it was a cultural moment. Outside Rashida's boutique, paparazzi gathered, hoping to catch a glimpse of her. Fans stood in small crowds, holding signs of support. "We love you, Rashida," they shouted whenever a car passed that looked like it might be hers. Inside, the staff whispered nervously, unsure if their boss would even show up. And when she finally did, her face hidden under dark sunglasses, the cameras went wild. She didn't say a word, but her silence spoke louder than anything. Meanwhile, Kirk tried to do damage control. He reached out to bloggers, begging them to hear his side of the story. One recorded call leaked almost instantly. In it, Kirk's voice was trembling as he said, "Man, they blowing this out of proportion. I love my wife, I would never," before the clip cut off. Fans mocked it mercilessly. "Too late, Kirk," one comment read. "We saw the receipts." Another wrote, "Stop crying to bloggers, cry to your wife." And then, as if things couldn't get worse, another bomb dropped. Michelle went live on Instagram. Tens of thousands of fans joined within seconds, comments flying faster than she could read. She didn't waste time. "Listen, I didn't do this to be messy. I did it because women deserve to know the truth. Rashida's been standing by this man for years, and he's been embarrassing her behind her back. I couldn't watch it anymore." She paused, sipped from her cup, then leaned closer to the camera. "And let me be clear, it's deeper than what y'all saw last night. Kirk got secrets. And if he don't stop playing, I'ma spill every last one of them." The chat exploded. Fans typed in all caps, begging her to reveal more. "Drop the tea, Michelle. We need part 2. Don't hold back." Rashida, at home, saw the live through her notifications. She sat in her living room, phone in hand, tears streaming again as her friends tried to comfort her. "Girl, you don't deserve this," one said softly. "You built an empire with him, and look what he's doing." But Rashida shook her head. "I don't know what to believe anymore. Every time I think we're past this, something else comes up. I can't breathe." At that moment, Kirk walked in, trying to sit beside her. "Baby, please, don't listen to her. She hates me. She's just trying to ruin us." But Rashida moved away, her eyes cold. "Ruin us? Kirk, you did that. Not her." The tension in the room was suffocating. Kirk dropped his head into his hands, muttering, "I didn't mean for it to go this far." Rashida looked at him, her voice sharp. "Go this far? You mean it's true? Then, all of it," he stammered, fumbling for words. But his silence was enough. Rashida's chest heaved as she whispered, "You've humiliated me in front of the whole world." By now, Atlanta streets were alive with gossip. Beauty salons, barbershops, and diners buzzed with the scandal. People argued over who was right, who was wrong, whether Michelle had gone too far, or whether she had saved Rashida from a lifetime of deception. But one thing was clear: Kirk's reputation was in freefall. That night, Rashida finally broke her silence with a cryptic Instagram story. It was just a black screen with the words, "Sometimes love ain't enough." Within minutes, blogs picked it up, headlines screaming that divorce papers were on the way. Kirk panicked. He started calling her nonstop, leaving voicemails. "Please, baby, don't give up on us. We can fix this. I'll do whatever it takes." But Rashida didn't respond. And then came the twist no one expected. A woman stepped forward, claiming she was the one Kirk had been secretly meeting. She posted a blurry video of Kirk outside her condo, along with messages that matched the screenshots Michelle had shown. Fans lost their minds. He really got caught. Michelle wasn't lying. It's over for Kirk. The woman even hinted that there was more, that Kirk had promised her things. Gifts, money, even whispered about leaving Rashida. The betrayal cut deeper than anyone imagined. Rashida saw the video late at night, alone in her bedroom. She dropped her phone on the bed, sobbing uncontrollably. "How could you do this to me?" she whispered into the dark. Kirk stood outside the door, knocking softly. "Please open up, please talk to me." But she didn't move. Meanwhile, Michelle added fuel to the fire with another post. "Y'all thought last night was bad. Wait until the rest comes out." Fans speculated wildly. What else could Kirk be hiding? Money, another child, a secret marriage. The rumors grew darker, wilder, more outrageous by the hour. Kirk's friends urged him to lay low, but he couldn't stand the silence. He showed up at Rashida's boutique the next morning, begging her in front of everyone. "Baby, I'll go to therapy. I'll confess. I'll do whatever you want. Just don't leave me." Customers stared, phones recording, as Rashida's face turned to stone. "Therapy won't erase betrayal." "Nothing will," she replied coldly before walking away. That clip went viral too. Fans praised her strength, calling her a queen, while others worried about her breaking under the pressure. "She deserves peace, not pain," one comment read. The storm was far from over, because, as painful as the truth was, this was only the second act. Michelle had hinted at bigger secrets. And the whispers in Atlanta suggested she wasn't bluffing, and so the city held its breath, waiting for the next bomb to drop. While Kirk and Rashida's marriage dangled by a thread that seemed ready to snap at any second, Atlanta couldn't stop talking. By now, the scandal had reached every corner of the city and spread across the internet like wildfire. The betrayal wasn't just a rumor anymore, it was a saga, unfolding in real time, each day adding another shocking twist. Michelle had promised there were deeper secrets, and the streets were hungry to know what else Kirk Frost had been hiding. Blogs refreshed their headlines by the hour, YouTubers uploaded live breakdowns, and fans flooded Instagram with endless theories. Meanwhile, Rashida was crumbling under the weight of humiliation. For years, she had fought to keep her family intact, smiling in public, forgiving behind closed doors, always standing by Kirk, despite the whispers. But this time felt different. This wasn't just a rumor tossed around for ratings. This was evidence, receipts, and now another woman stepping forward, confirming every fear Rashida had tried to bury. Inside her home, she paced the living room late at night, her phone lighting up with endless messages of support. Friends, fans, even strangers, were telling her to walk away. "Queen, you don't deserve this pain." One message read, "Don't let him keep breaking you," another said. Her tears blurred the screen as she dropped the phone on the couch, whispering, "But how do I walk away from everything we built?" And outside her window, Kirk stood in the driveway, leaning against his car, his face buried in his hands. He had called her dozens of times, begged her through the door, but she wouldn't open it. His voice cracked through the night air, muffled but desperate. "Rashida, I love you. Please, just give me a chance to explain." But inside, she shut her eyes tightly, trying to block out the sound of the man who had betrayed her again. The world wasn't waiting quietly either. Podcasts dissected Kirk's every move, Instagram lives erupted with heated debates, and even other celebrities chimed in. Carly Red posted a cryptic laughing emoji under one blog post, fueling speculation that she too had known about Kirk's behavior. Yandi Smith shared a message on her story. "Ladies, when people show you who they are, believe them." Fans took it as a direct jab at Kirk, and the internet roared louder. But the most explosive moment came when Michelle went live again. This time, her energy was calmer, but her words cut even deeper. She leaned close to the camera, her voice steady. "Y'all want the truth? Fine, here's the truth. Kirk's betrayal didn't start yesterday, and it ain't just one woman. This man been living a double life for years. And if nobody else got the guts to say it, I do." The comments section exploded instantly. "What? Drop the tea. Receipts please." Michelle held up her phone, scrolling. "I got messages, bank transfers, and pictures that show this man been spending money, sneaking around, and lying to his wife over and over again. And the worst part, he tried to play me like I was crazy when I called him out before. But baby, the truth always comes out." She swiped through messages on screen, blurred names but clear enough to show Kirk's number, his words, late-night texts, flirtatious emojis, even promises of trips and gifts. "He out here telling another woman, 'You my real peace, I can't stand the drama at home.'" She paused dramatically. "The drama at home? The woman who built you, who raised your kids, who forgave you when the whole world told her not to. That's drama." Fans watching screamed in the comments, "This is sick. He don't deserve Rashida. Michelle is a hero. Within minutes, screen recordings of the live hit Twitter, then TikTok, then YouTube. Headlines screamed, K. Michelle drops new receipts. Kirk's double life exposed. Rashida, destroyed. Rashida saw the clips through her phone again, sitting on the edge of her bed, trembling. She replayed them over and over, hoping it was fake, praying it wasn't real. But the evidence was undeniable. She let out a guttural cry, one that echoed through the house, her heartbreak spilling into every corner. Her son came to the door, knocking softly, whispering, "Mama, are you okay?" And she wiped her tears quickly, forcing herself to sound steady. "I'm fine, baby. Go back to bed." But she wasn't fine. She was shattered. Kirk, cornered, finally tried to fight back publicly. He posted a long caption on Instagram, claiming everything was a lie. "People out here trying to ruin my family. Don't believe the hype. I made mistakes in the past, but I'm not that man anymore." He turned off comments, hoping to silence the backlash, but screenshots of the post spread anyway. Fans mocked him ruthlessly. "If you gotta turn off comments, you already guilty. We saw the proof. Kirk, stop lying." And then came another blow. The woman who had leaked the blurry condo video spoke again, this time giving a full interview to a gossip blog. She claimed Kirk had been seeing her for months, promising her money and a future, but never following through. "He told me I was special," she said, her voice breaking on camera, "but I see now he just played me like he played her." The interview went viral instantly. Fans shared it across every platform. "This man is done." One tweet read. Another said, "Imagine humiliating your wife and embarrassing yourself like this." Inside her boutique, Rashida tried to focus on work, but paparazzi stood outside, shouting questions as she walked in. "Rashida, are you filing for divorce? Rashida, do you believe K. Michelle's receipts? Rashida, is it true Kirk has a second family?" She didn't answer, keeping her head high, but her silence only fueled the speculation. Behind closed doors, she confided in her closest friends, "I can't keep doing this. Every time I forgive, he finds a new way to hurt me. And now it's not just MITs, the whole world watching me break." Her friend hugged her tightly. "Then stop breaking. Take back your power." But power was hard to hold when every headline screamed betrayal. Things escalated when K. Michelle hinted at an even darker secret, money laundering. In another post, she wrote, "Y'all ain't even ready for the financial games he been playing. It's not just cheating nits, stealing, lying, hiding. I said what I said." The internet erupted. Fans speculated Kirk had been funneling money to hide his affairs, maybe even setting up secret accounts. Memes flooded timelines. Kirk Frost, the accountant of lies. Catch him at Wells Fargo. Not at home. Blogs began digging, posting alleged bank records, analyzing every purchase. Whether true or not, the narrative had taken root. Kirk wasn't just a cheater. He was a manipulator, a man living multiple lives. Rashida, overwhelmed, finally spoke publicly. In a trembling voice on Instagram Live, she told her fans, "I don't know what tomorrow holds. I'm hurting, I'm humiliated, but I thank y'all for the love. Please pray for me and my family." Tears streamed down her face as fans filled the chat with hearts, prayers, and messages of support. The comments rolled in faster than she could read. "We love you, Rashida. You're too good for him. Stay strong, queen." Kirk watched the live from his car, his heart breaking, but powerless to stop the avalanche he had set in motion. He tried to call her again, but she didn't answer. He tried to show up at the house, but the locks had been changed. He sat outside for hours, staring at the door, whispering to himself, "I can fix this. I can fix this." But could he? The scandal wasn't slowing down. Each day brought new headlines, new receipts, new voices chiming in. Even celebrities outside Atlanta weighed in. Cardi B tweeted, "Rashida been loyal forever, and he's still playing games. Nah, she need to leave." Nicki Minaj posted a shady comment under a gossip blog. "Some men never grow up." The world was united in outrage, and Kirk Frost had become public enemy number one. Rashida, however, was starting to see clearly. One night, staring at the ceiling, she whispered to herself, "Love ain't supposed to feel like this. Love ain't supposed to break you." She sat up, pulled out a notepad, and began writing a list of every betrayal, every lie, every tear she had shed. By the time she finished, the page was filled. She stared at it, her hands shaking, and whispered, "This is my closure." The saga wasn't over yet. Rumors swirled of even more women stepping forward. More secrets waiting to be exposed. More drama that would keep Atlanta talking for weeks. But for Rashida, something had shifted. For the first time, she wasn't just reacting to Kirk's lies. She was taking control. And as fans watched, holding their breath, one question echoed louder than any other. Would this be the moment Rashida finally walked away for good? Atlanta wasn't sleeping. Even in the early hours of the morning, phones lit up with new notifications. Fans refreshing their feeds every few seconds just to see if Kay, Michelle, Rashida, or Kirk had made another move. The scandal had taken on a life of its own. It wasn't just a story anymore, it was the biggest reality show the city had ever seen. Next. This wasn't scripted, this was raw, painful, humiliating, and every single person was watching it unfold in real time. By now, Kirk Frost's name was trending worldwide. Fans called him every name imaginable. Memes spread like wildfire, pictures of Kirk with clown makeup, captions mocking his excuses, side-by-side edits of him with the word LIAR in bold letters. Even those who weren't fans of love and hip-hop found themselves caught in the storm, picking sides, dissecting receipts, and weighing in on whether Rashida should finally walk away. But the most chilling detail, whispers that this scandal wasn't just about cheating anymore. Michelle had hinted at financial secrets, and Atlanta insiders were starting to talk. Rumors circled that Kirk had been funneling money not just to side women, but to private accounts in different names. Gossip blogs claimed he had even been spotted at banks late at night, making suspicious deposits. Whether the details were true didn't matter because the story was already out of his control. Rashida sat in her boutique office, her head buried in her hands. Her team hovered nervously around her, unsure of what to say. "Boss, do you want us to cancel your appointments for today?" one asked softly. Rashida didn't answer at first, but finally whispered, "Cancel everything. I can't face people right now." Her voice cracked as tears filled her eyes. "How can I stand in front of anyone when the whole world thinks I'm a fool?" But the truth was, no one thought she was a fool. Fans saw her as a victim of loyalty, a woman who gave her heart and got broken again and again. Outside the boutique, dozens of supporters stood with signs that read, "We love you, Rashida, and you deserve better." Their voices echoed through the street, chanting her name, cheering for her strength. Inside his car, parked just a block away, Kirk watched silently. He didn't dare step out. The anger in the air was too strong, the shame too heavy. His phone buzzed with calls from his publicist, urging him to make a statement, but every draft he wrote sounded hollow. Nothing could erase the truth people had already seen. That night, Michelle struck again. She posted a voice note, an alleged recording of Kirk himself. In the clip, his voice could be heard whispering to another woman, "I can't keep living two lives. But you're the one that makes me feel alive. Rashida don't understand me the way you do." The internet exploded instantly. "Oh my God, it's his voice. This is undeniable. He literally admitted it." Rashida heard it too. She sat frozen on her couch, the phone trembling in her hand as the words replayed over and over. Tears poured down her cheeks. "Two lives," she whispered to herself. "He said it. He really said it." She dropped the phone, sobbing so hard she could barely breathe. Her friends rushed over, wrapping their arms around her, but the damage was done. The betrayal wasn't just public, it was permanent, etched into recordings, receipts, and videos that would never disappear. And yet, despite everything, Kirk refused to give up. He showed up at the house again, banging on the door, shouting, "Rashida, please, open up. It was a mistake. I didn't mean any of it." Neighbors recorded the scene from their porches, posting videos online. "Look at this man begging in the street." One caption read, "You weren't begging when you were sneaking around." Inside, Rashida locked the door tighter, whispering to herself, "No more. I can't do this anymore." The following morning, she met with a lawyer. Cameras spotted her walking into an office building with sunglasses on, her face stern. Speculation exploded. Divorce papers were coming. Blogs lit up with headlines. Rashida, ready to leave Kirk for good. Kirk panicked again. He went live on Instagram, his face tired, his voice breaking. "Look, y'all don't understand. I made mistakes. Yes, but I love my wife. I love my family. Don't let people who hate me tear us apart." He cried on camera, wiping his face with his hands. But fans weren't moved. Comments flooded in. "Too late. You should have thought about your family before. Rashida deserves peace, not pain." Michelle responded almost instantly, posting a laughing emoji with the caption, "Tears don't erase lies." The internet roared, siding with her once again. Rashida's silence spoke louder than any post. She didn't clap back. She didn't explain, she just stayed quiet, letting the storm rage around her. But behind the scenes, she was crumbling. One night, she confided to her friend, "I don't know how to move forward. Part of me still loves him, but every time I see his face, I hear that voice note. I see those receipts. How do I forgive that? Her friend shook her head. You don't forgive that. You free yourself from it. The city buzzed even louder when a second woman came forward, claiming she too had been involved with Kirk. She posted pictures of gifts, money transfers, even a short video of Kirk's voice leaving her a late-night voicemail. Just checking on you, baby. Can't wait to see you again. The evidence was damning. The internet lit up once more. To women, he really living a whole double life. This man is done. Rashida watched from her phone, her face numb. Two, she whispered. Two different women. How many more are there? Her tears fell silently, staining the papers on the table. By now, the scandal wasn't just trending, it was dominating headlines worldwide. Major outlets covered it, late-night comedians cracked jokes, and Kirk Frost's name became synonymous with betrayal. And then came the twist that truly shook everyone. Michelle dropped one final bombshell. She claimed Kirk had a secret child. She didn't reveal details immediately, but her words were enough. Y'all think it's just women and money. Nah, it's deeper. He out here making promises, making families on the side. And one day, the whole truth will come out. The internet went into meltdown. Secret child. If this is true, it's over. Rashida, sis, please run. Rashida nearly collapsed when she saw the clip. She clutched her chest, gasping for air, whispering, not again. Not another baby. Memories of the past flooded her, the pain, the rumors, the sleepless nights. Her hands shook uncontrollably. Her world spun. She screamed out loud, the sound echoing through the empty house. Kirk rushed over, desperate to calm her, but she shoved him away, her eyes blazing with rage. Don't touch me. Don't you dare touch me, she screamed. You've destroyed me, Kirk. You've destroyed everything. The confrontation was raw, intense, and heartbreaking. Neighbors could hear her sobs through the walls. Kirk dropped to his knees, begging, please, baby, I can't lose you. I swear, it's not what it looks like. But the words meant nothing now. The family was left divided, kids caught in the middle, friends taking sides, fans demanding justice. It was chaos, and no one knew how it would end. As the days dragged on, Rashida began to realize something. This wasn't just about her marriage anymore, it was about her dignity, her strength, her survival. One night, staring into the mirror, she whispered, I can't let him break me. I have to stand up. I have to choose me. And with that, the woman who had once been defined by loyalty began to write a new story, one that didn't depend on Kirk Frost. But the fallout wasn't over. More women threatened to come forward, bloggers teased more leaks, and fans waited eagerly for the next twist. Atlanta wasn't just watching it, was holding its breath, waiting for the final explosion. Because this wasn't just drama. This was betrayal on a level no one could have imagined. Kirk Frost was caught red-handed. Rashida was left in tears. And Michelle had lit the match that set the entire city on fire. And as the smoke rose higher, one thing became clear: this scandal wasn't ending anytime soon. It was only getting bigger, louder, and more destructive. Atlanta was still on fire. Every corner of the city hummed with gossip, every phone buzzed with updates, and every fan was glued to the next post, the next live, the next leak. It was more than drama now. It was history in the making, scandal at a scale that even the wildest episodes of reality TV couldn't match. Kirk Frost's name had become a curse, a warning, a reminder of what betrayal looked like when it was dragged into the light for the world to see. And through it all, Rashida was drowning. She barely left the house. When she did, cameras swarmed her, voices shouted questions, and fans screamed words of encouragement. We love you, Rashida. Leave him, queen. Don't let him break you. The love was overwhelming, but it didn't ease the pain in her chest. Every headline, every leaked video, every cruel meme was another dagger. Kirk, on the other hand, spiraled. He tried interviews, tried lives, tried begging in the street, but nothing worked. Every word out of his mouth sounded hollow. Every denial was drowned out by receipts. Every plea was mocked by fans who had already decided his fate. He was guilty in the court of public opinion, and there was no escape. But Michelle wasn't finished. No, she had promised the truth, and she intended to deliver it all. One evening, she dropped another bomb, this time with a single caption that froze the internet. The child exists. The post was cryptic, but it was enough. Speculation exploded instantly. Was Kirk hiding a secret child? Who was the mother? How old was the child? Theories flooded Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. Some fans swore they had seen Kirk with a little one that wasn't Rashida's. Others claimed the timeline matched too perfectly with his late-night disappearances. Rashida saw the post alone in her room. Her hands trembled so violently she dropped the phone onto the bed. Her breath hitched in her throat. Not another child, she whispered, collapsing into tears. Her worst fear, the one she had buried deep, was clawing its way back into the light. Hours later, Kirk stormed into the house, his face red, his voice raised. She's lying. She's just trying to ruin me. But Rashida snapped this time. She stood up, her eyes blazing through tears. Stop lying to me. Stop lying to everyone. You've been lying our whole marriage. Kirk, if there's a child, I swear to God, her voice cracked, her sobs spilling over. I won't survive this again. Neighbors heard the screaming. Once again, someone recorded from outside, posting muffled audio of the fight. Fans dissected every word, their hearts breaking for Rashida. She's done, one wrote. You can hear the pain in her voice. K. Michelle fueled the fire further with another post. She knows the truth already. She just doesn't want to admit it. Fans gasped. Was she hinting that Rashida had known about the child all along? Was this betrayal even deeper than anyone imagined? The internet tore itself apart with theories, but inside the Frost household, the silence was louder than any rumor. Rashida locked herself in the bedroom, refusing to see Kirk, while he sat in the kitchen, his head buried in his hands, muttering to himself, I can fix this. I can fix this. But could he? The next day, a shocking twist came from the alleged mother herself. She posted a blurry picture of a child with the caption, "The truth always comes out." Fans lost their minds. The photo went viral instantly. Blogs plastered it everywhere, adding flames to the already blazing fire. Rashida saw the picture and nearly fainted. Her knees buckled as she clutched the edge of the counter, whispering, God, no. Her tears poured freely as she slid to the floor, sobbing uncontrollably. Kirk tried to deny it. He stormed onto social media again, his voice shaky but loud. That ain't my kid. Stop lying on me. Stop spreading lies about my family. But no one believed him. The resemblance, fans argued, was too obvious. The timeline was too perfect. The receipts were too strong. The family was in ruins. Kirk's kids stopped answering his calls, ashamed of the headlines. Rashida's friends urged her to leave, telling her she had suffered enough. You can't keep sacrificing yourself for him. One said firmly, it's over. But walking away was easier said than done. Late at night, Rashida lay awake, staring at the ceiling, memories flashing through her mind. The years of love, the laughter, the empire they had built together. Her heart ached. How do I walk away from everything? She whispered to the dark. Fans online begged her to choose herself. Don't let him destroy you, Queen. One comment read, you deserve peace. Another wrote, love yourself the way he never loved you. But Kirk wasn't ready to let go. He showed up at her boutique again, in front of cameras and customers, dropping to his knees dramatically. Please Rashida, don't leave me. I'll do anything. I'll confess. I'll go to therapy. I'll admit every mistake. Just don't give up on us. Customers gasped, phones raised, recording every second. Rashida's face hardened. Her voice was cold, sharp as glass. Therapy won't erase a child. Nothing will. She turned and walked away, leaving him on the floor as cameras flashed and fans cheered. The clip went viral instantly. Queen energy, fans shouted. She's finally done. But was she? Late that night, in the quiet of her room, Rashida scrolled through old photos, her and Kirk smiling, holding hands, standing proudly with their kids. Tears streamed down her face as she whispered, why couldn't you just love me the way I loved you? She clutched the phone to her chest, sobbing. Meanwhile, K. Michelle added another twist. She teased that she had documents proving Kirk had been supporting the secret child financially. Y'all thought the screenshots were bad. Wait until you see the paperwork, she said. Fans erupted again, demanding the release. Blogs speculated endlessly. Memes mocked Kirk's downfall. Talk shows debated the scandal. Celebrities shaded him openly. Kirk Frost had become the most hated man in hip-hop overnight. And still, Rashida was left torn between heartbreak and survival. Part of her longed to escape, to finally free herself from the pain. Another part still clung to the love they once shared, the empire they built, the family they raised. The city buzzed, the internet screamed, and fans held their breath, waiting for the final explosion. Because if K. Michelle released the documents, it would be the end. The final nail in the coffin. Kirk Frost would be finished, and Rashida's life would never be the same. And so, the world watched. Atlanta stood still. The Frost Empire hung by a thread, and everyone knew when that thread finally snapped, the crash would be louder than anything the city had ever heard before. Atlanta was buried under a shadow that only betrayal could cast. Day or night, no matter where you went, there was only one topic of conversation: Kirk Frost, Rashida, and the chaos unleashed by K. Michelle. In beauty salons, In barbershops, in coffeehouses, radio stations, and clubs. Everyone was buzzing with the same question: what happens next? Every voice carried its own opinion, anger, or sympathy. Rashida had locked herself away at home, curtains drawn, phones silenced. Her world shrinking down to the echo of heartbreak and the sound of her own tears. Her friends begged her to step outside, to tell her side of the story, to take strength from the public support. But the weight in her chest was too heavy, words too fragile. Every day felt like a war she was fighting against her own memories, against her anger, against the shattered pieces of her heart. Meanwhile, Kirk was watching his empire slip through his hands. Every move he made was recorded, every word dissected. Once he had stood tall as a proud husband and businessman. Now he was nothing more than a meme. People plastered his name next to clown emoji. Every attempt to defend himself was torn apart and thrown back in his face. Then Michelle stepped forward, fierce as always, a woman who never hid her truth. She had promised, she had receipts, and now she was ready to show them. In another explosive live, she didn't just use her words, she revealed a folder filled with documents. "I won't show everything," she said to the camera. "Some things are too sensitive, too dangerous to release right now, but what you've seen so far is only the beginning." On the screen flashed glimpses of bank transactions, hotel bookings, private messages. The comments section erupted. "We need full documents. Drop everything, end him." And then the bombshell hit. A child's name appeared, linked to the Frost surname. The world froze. Rashida was watching the live alone in her bedroom. The phone slipped from her hands as a scream tore out of her chest, the kind of sound that comes only from the deepest wound. She covered her face with her hands, sobbing, whispering, "Another child. No, I can't take this again." Her voice cracked into pieces, her tears unstoppable. Headlines flashed everywhere. Kirk Frost secret child confirmed. Michelle drops nuclear receipts. Rashida's heartbreak goes viral. In Atlanta, it was as if a political scandal had broken out. People argued passionately in the streets, treating the betrayal as a public trial. "This isn't just about a marriage," one said. "This is an example of how women keep being broken again and again." Hashtags trended. Hashtag stand with RASHEEDA. Hashtag Kirk cancelled. Hashtag Michelle was right. Inside his home, Kirk grew more unhinged every day. He called his team together and shouted, "We need to stop her. It's all lies. It's a setup." But even they couldn't defend him. The receipts were out. The videos were viral. The city had already judged him. One night, Kirk showed up at Rashida's door. He carried flowers, dropped to his knees, and begged, "Please forgive me. I'll confess everything. Just don't leave me." His voice trembled with desperation, but Rashida's eyes were stone. "You don't get to ask for forgiveness when you've broken me in front of the world. The only thing you can do is leave me alone." She slammed the door and walked away. Neighbors filmed the scene, Kirk weeping on the porch, the flowers falling to the ground. The video went viral. Comments poured in. "This is karma. Too little, too late. She's done with him." Then came the deadliest blow. Yet an anonymous email leak. Gossip blogs shared a folder of alleged DNA reports. Fans zoomed in on the pages and saw the words that made them scream. The child's biological father listed as Kirk Frost. Whether the report was real or fake didn't matter anymore. The internet didn't care about the difference between rumor and truth. To them, the story was complete. Kirk Frost wasn't just a cheater. He was a man with a secret child, a man who had destroyed his wife again and again. Rashida broke further. In a late-night call with her mother, her voice shaking, she said, "Mama, I don't think I can take another day of this. Every day is another wound. I just want peace." Her mother's voice cracked with tears. "Baby, you will never have peace until you get this man out of your life." Atlanta's clubs turned the scandal into soundtracks. DJs remixed songs with Kirk's name. Crowds screamed in mockery. Memes exploded. Comedians made skits portraying him as the city's biggest clown. Kirk Frost had become a walking scandal. And Michelle, she turned pain into art. Sitting in her studio, she began writing a song about betrayal. "I'll make this pain an anthem," she said. "And when the world hears it, they'll never forget that I was the one who exposed Kirk Frost." For Rashida, only one question remained. Would she finally file for divorce? Or once again sacrifice her heart in the name of forgiveness? But this time, the world was shouting back at her. "No more. It's over. Choose yourself, Rashida." And the story wasn't finished yet. With every new day came fresh details, darker secrets, and more betrayal uncovered. Atlanta had become a battlefield, and the Frost Empire was nothing but ashes carried away by the wind. Atlanta was still reeling. the city caught in the grip of betrayal that refused to loosen its hold. What began as whispers had grown into a full-blown storm that swallowed every street, every club, every conversation. Kirk Frost's name had become poison, while Rashida's tears had turned into a symbol of strength and suffering. And Michelle, she had become the torchbearer, carrying receipts like weapons, unleashing them one by one with the precision of a general leading a war. Blogs refreshed every hour, dropping new headlines. Another woman speaks. New receipts surface. Is the Frost Empire over for good? Fans didn't even sleep anymore. They stayed glued to their phones, hungry for the next twist. Rashida sat in her boutique office, staring blankly at a wall of designs that once brought her pride. She used to dream of these clothes on red carpets, on stages, on runways. Now all she could see was betrayal woven into every fabric. Her phone buzzed with constant notifications, but she silenced them all. Even messages of support felt heavy. Each "stay strong" reminded her of the pain she was forced to endure in public. Kirk, meanwhile, grew restless and erratic. He stopped eating, pacing through the house like a man trapped in a burning room. Every knock at the door made him flinch. Every vibration of his phone sent a jolt of panic through his chest. "I can't lose her," he whispered to himself over and over, as though saying it enough times might reverse the damage. But the city had already decided he was guilty. Then came another leak. This time, not from Michelle, not from bloggers, but from someone no one expected, a former friend of Kirk's. He released a series of voice notes, claiming Kirk had bragged about keeping multiple lives separate. "Man, Rashida will always forgive me," Kirk's voice laughed in one recording. "She too loyal to leave. I can do what I want." The internet went nuclear. Fans were livid. He played her loyalty against her. This is evil. He knew she'd forgive him, and he used it. Hashtags trended again. Hashtag she too lofty, no excuses Kirk. Rashida heard the voice notes and felt her knees weaken. She sank into a chair, holding her chest as though the words had pierced her heart directly. Her whisper barely escaped her lips. "So I was just his safety net." Tears streamed down her cheeks. But this time there was something else in her eyes, not just pain, but fire. Her friends rallied around her. One told her, "Queen, he doesn't just betray you, he mocks your strength. You have to rise from this. You have to show him you are not his safety net, you are the storm that ends him." And Atlanta wanted that storm. People begged Rashida online to walk away, to reclaim her crown, to show the world she was more than Kirk's shadow. Kirk, still desperate, made another public attempt to clear his name. He booked a sit-down interview with a local radio show. Sitting in the dim studio, his voice cracked as he said, "Look, I ain't perfect, but I'm not this monster y'all painting me to be. I love Rashida. I love my family. These lies gotta stop." But mid-interview, the host played one of the leaked voice notes live on air. Kirk froze. His mouth opened, but no words came out. The host leaned closer to the mic, saying coldly, "That's your voice, Kirk. The people heard you. How do you explain this?" The clip went viral within minutes. Kirk's credibility evaporated entirely. Fans mocked him mercilessly. His face when they played it. Caught in 4,000 again. No escape. And then Jasmine, the woman whose name had danced in and out of these scandals for years, finally broke her silence. She posted a glamorous photo of herself in front of the infamous villa, captioning it, "Truth hurts, but lies kill faster." Fans flooded her comments with rage. "You destroyed a marriage. You live off another woman's tears." But she didn't delete the post. She liked some of the comments. She thrived on the chaos. Rashida saw the post and smashed a glass against the wall. "She thinks this is funny," Rashida cried to her friend. "She thinks my life is her playground." Her sobs filled the room. The Frost household was now unlivable. Their kids avoided the cameras, avoiding their father most of all. Dinners were silent, eyes downcast. Every moment soaked in tension. Kirk tried to speak, but Rashida would leave the table before he finished a sentence. One night, she shouted across the room, "You don't get to talk to me anymore. You've said enough. Your lies are louder than any words you'll ever speak again." The scandal took its darkest turn when a blogger uncovered alleged financial records tying Kirk to not just the villa, but multiple hidden accounts. Whispers of fraud and shady dealings spread like fire. "It's not just cheating anymore," one podcast host said. "This man been lying about money, too. This is corruption." The narrative shifted again. Kirk wasn't just a bad husband, he was now painted as a fraudster, a manipulator, a man whose empire was built on secrets. His businesses began to collapse. Sponsors pulled out, collaborations vanished. His name, once profitable, became toxic. Rashida, meanwhile, began to rise. She took the pain and turned it into power. She launched a new campaign for her boutique line with the tagline, "Loyalty has limits." Fans cheered, sales skyrocketed, and her brand became stronger than ever. She was no longer just the woman broken by betrayal, she was the woman reborn through it. Still, behind closed doors, the heartbreak never left. One night, speaking quietly into her phone's notes app, she said, "They see me as strong, but strength doesn't mean I don't bleed. Every day I bleed." The villa itself became infamous, a cursed landmark in Atlanta. People drove past just to film videos. Influencers posed outside, mocking Kirk. Fans called it the house that ruined Atlanta. Memes flooded timelines. Kirk photoshopped as a construction worker under captions like "building homes, breaking hearts." Jasmine lounging on a balcony, crowned as Queen of Chaos. And Rashida, rising from flames like a phoenix, became the internet's favorite symbol of resilience. And yet, the saga refused to end. Because Michelle wasn't done. She teased one final set of receipts, promising they would be the nail in the coffin. The city held its breath. Fans speculated wildly. What else could there be? Does he have another family? Is there another child? Everybody waited, tension building, knowing the final truth could destroy Kirk forever. And through it all, Rashida whispered to herself late at night, staring into the mirror, "Whatever comes next, I'll survive it, because I am more than his lies. I am more than his betrayals. I am me." Atlanta wasn't just watching anymore, it was waiting for history. Because when the last receipt dropped, the Frost Empire would crumble completely, leaving nothing but ashes. And so Atlanta stood still, watching a love story collapse in front of the entire world. Kirk Frost, once seen as the proud husband and businessman, was left exposed, his empire shattered by his own secrets. Rashida, the woman who gave him loyalty, forgiveness, and years of sacrifice, was left to pick up the pieces of a heart broken in public view. And Michelle, bold and unfiltered, became the whistleblower, the firestarter, the one who carried the truth like a torch and lit the flame that burned the Frost name down. Fans were left speechless. Some cried for Rashida, feeling her heartbreak as if it were their own. Others raged at Kirk, calling him the face of betrayal, the man who played loyalty like it was weakness. Emotions ran high. The family was left divided, and Atlanta itself became the stage of a scandal bigger than anything the city had seen before. Think about it: what happens to a woman who has given her life, her years, her forgiveness, only to be met again and again with lies? How many times can someone pick themselves up before the pain becomes permanent? Rashida's tears weren't just hers anymore. They became the tears of every woman who had ever been betrayed, of every partner who had ever been taken for granted. Her collapse, her cries, her silence, they carried the weight of millions watching. And Kirk, his downfall was more than just personal. His name trended not for music, not for business, not for family, but for scandal. Every meme, every hashtag, every viral clip carved his reputation deeper into infamy. The house that broke Atlanta, the man who lied too many times. His legacy wasn't love anymore, it was betrayal. But the story doesn't end here, because fans are still asking the same burning questions. Will Rashida finally walk away for good? Will she sign those papers and free herself once and for all? Or will the cycle repeat? Will forgiveness come again, shocking everyone who begged her to choose herself? And what about the rumors of secret accounts, hidden villas, and the child whose name shook the internet? Are we truly at the end, or is there another storm waiting to erupt? The Frost Empire may be in ashes, but the embers are still glowing. And everyone knows embers can turn back into flames when least expected. And that's where you come in. What do you think happens next? Do you believe Rashida should finally cut Kirk off forever? Or do you think there's still a chance she'll forgive him one last time? Do you believe the rumors of another child are real? Or is it all part of a bigger plot to bring Kirk down? And what about Michelle? Was she the hero who saved Rashida from more heartbreak? Or did she go too far by airing private truths in public? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now. Your opinion matters in this story. Because scandals like this aren't just about the people living them, they're about the world watching them. And right now, the world is watching Kirk Frost and Rashida like never before. Make sure you hit that like button if you've been following the saga. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next twist, because in a scandal this big, trust me, there's always a next twist. And turn on your notifications, because the moment new receipts drop, the moment another confrontation erupts, you'll want to be the first to know. Share this video with your friends, your group chats, your socials, because everyone has an opinion, and the debate isn't slowing down anytime soon. Is Kirk Frost finished for good? Is Rashida about to rise higher than ever? And is Michelle holding even more secrets we haven't seen yet? Fans are shocked. Emotions are running high. The family is divided. And Atlanta may never be the same again. So tell us, whose side are you on? Do you stand with Rashida, broken but unbowed, ready to rise from the ashes? Or do you believe Kirk can somehow, against all odds, rebuild what he has destroyed? This is more than gossip. This is history. And history is being written right now. In real time. On your screens. In your voices. In your comments. The receipts have been revealed. The villa has been exposed. The tears have been shed. But the ending is still unwritten. And together, we're about to write it. So smash that like, subscribe if you haven't already, and drop your comment below. Let's hear what you think about the most explosive scandal Atlanta has ever seen. Because if one thing is certain, it's this story isn't over. Not by a long shot.